Aloha everyone, my name is Jennifer Espenscheid, and today I want to talk to you about how an artist utilizes discipline and freedom to create and be successful. And I find that across the board, what works for me in producing art works and fuels everything in my life. So I've become really passionate about helping people be creative and designing their own life so that they can achieve their goals. And mostly when we get to the root issue of all those goals, it's so they have more freedom in life and more happiness. What do I mean by discipline and freedom? They are our masculine container, and they are the ingredients that go in it. And the ingredients are usually more free, right? Together, the discipline and freedom equal flow. We all want to be in flow. It's such a beautiful feeling, that current of energy running through us, and we're being really effective. And whatever our art is, which doesn't mean just painting or making music, our art might be finance, our art might be raising our family, our art might be refurbishing homes. All of it is creative. And by using and marrying the discipline and the freedom, we're going to have really amazing outcomes. So today, that's what I want to talk about and share some of the things that work for me. So some of the discipline that I have attained have been from my upbringing, and then also from my degree, which is in architecture and urban planning. So growing up, I was raised on a ranch, and animals needed to be fed, crops needed to be sown and harvested. So I grew up with the ritual of the circadian rhythm and pre-planning. And I remember seeing my dad every night, and probably in the morning, although he got up way before us, which I do with my kids now. There was this pre-planning, this imaginative, how can this best all happen magically, right, in just 16 hours of daylight. Later in the architectural program, same lessons, where if I ask the right questions now, I am going to set myself up in an organized way so that I'll get the most amount done, and I might get a little bit of sleep. However unlikely that was, it didn't happen really often because I also added partying into it. It really did help me do my setup work in the beginning and figure out with discipline how I was going to create that container of a schedule, of a timeline, of a budget, so that I would have the freedom to create and the freedom to have extra time off, to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? So we all might have different backgrounds, and some of us also have stories that we need to unravel. I'm just not a planful person. I'm not a disciplined person. I can't get myself to do things. Realize that there are a lot of these stories that you can keep agreeing with, or you can formulate a new story. And I'm really excited for sharing my strategy for magnifying my efficiency, effectiveness, and enjoyability. That's my 3 E's: efficiency, effectiveness, and enjoyability of light. And that comes from getting shit done so that I have more freedom. So how I approach a project for a client is how I approach a lot of things in life. So one of my examples is going to be that. We'll also use it for how I'm going to schedule a day, how I'm going to make a meal, how I'm going to run an event, maybe a holiday, a renovation, you name it. You can apply this across the board. So first I look for my discipline. I have a lot of protocols that help me be really creative. I have a great morning ritual, I exercise. When I get to this place and I'm already healthy and I'm doing all the things, one of the best things that I can do to set myself up for success is create boundaries, that's my certainty, to hold the ingredients, which is my creativity, the uncertainty. So these seem two kind of opposite energies, the discipline and this freedom and flow, and those are often called masculine and feminine energies. Watch this one, it's great. Let's look at these two energies and how to combine them. To define the two polarities, let's look at our disciplines being a container And then our ingredients, which is our conceiving and dreaming and all the things that are going to have flow and change, those are the liquids and we put in it. And this as a dance back and forth. When I get a commission, someone's interested in art for their restaurant or for their home, the first thing I do is ask them where they heard of me, get a bit of a repertoire going, and then I start asking, I am now creating this container. I would like to hear from them what styles they like. Have they seen something else that I've done? A lot of it is identifying the budget so that I know what materials we can include. And I'm asking them what meaning, if it's for a lobby and there's specific needs and styles around that, or if it's for a gift, I want to know more about the people. But asking those good set of questions. So this could be applied to, let's say, a holiday. If we want to go on, let's say we're going on a trip, where? Are we thinking tropical? Are we thinking skiing? Who's coming with? What needs are they going to have? Then we're going to look at schedules. And so we start creating our parameters, right? We're whittling things down from all of this, which is ultimately free and creative and infinite. And we're getting it down to the things that are important for this particular thing. Maybe it's a meal and we want to know what's in the fridge and if there's any dietary restrictions, or you might have a meeting and we're going to look at who's going to be at this meeting. Is this an informative meeting or is this an education? What do I want to take into consideration? How big is the meeting? Is it on Zoom? Do I have to actually wear pants for this? Collecting data, we're being discerning, we're finding out. So that's our discipline, right? Now I'm going to swing it over. This is where the dance begins. I'm going to now go into the ingredients, the flow, the dream and imagination, the more feminine of the energies. And I'm going to start conceiving, okay, what about this? This fits the parameters, and I can really dive into that juiciness. It's usually just with myself or a few people, and we're brainstorming and coming up with these ideas with the parameters that we've already set. And I'm sketching and I'm putting that proposal together. And then now I'm dancing back over to the container. And now we might have another follow-up meeting. And we're going to discern what someone likes with these sketches or ideas. It might be we're coming back for a second talk about our holiday or the follow-up to a meeting. But we're getting back into that, okay, what is our next steps? Getting more information, and now we dance back to the more feminine, the ingredients and the flow. And now we're really refining, we're dreaming things up, we're in that envisioning state, and we go back and forth with that till we have our materials ordered, we have our contracts signed, we have our reservations made, we have a sale or some outcomes, and so we're really locking things in. This is a fun phase for me in the creation process because I know I'm getting everything dialed in, and the work, or it seems like more work of really paying attention. Is this the right material? Is it going to be here on time? How long is this going to take me? All these things are all now decided. And then you can step into your FLOWCUS, which is that focus and flow, the marrying of the discipline and the freedom. And now you're just creating. So now you're giving that speech. Now you're on that holiday. Now I'm painting that painting. And yes, all sorts of things are going to come up, and you can change your ingredients. People ask questions or something isn't working. You can read the audience, but you're in your ultimate creativity because you've had that discipline ahead of time. The marrying of those two things, the focus and flow, I call FLOWCUS. And it's been such a great way for me to channel both my masculine and feminine energies in my artistic work and also in the art of life. I have a whole nother episode on that, so check it out. Remember that you dance back and forth between your discipline and your freedom, and then you can apply that to anything. So some of the things that give me discipline throughout the day are starting my day out that way, having a morning practice, and then setting the day up. This is my container. I know now that I can flow in this way. I've got a lot of things figured out. And you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to conversations. You can apply it to remodeling something. You can apply it across the board in all of life. And everything will have much greater value, much greater enjoyment, effectiveness, and enthusiasm. And you're going to be a lot more present in your process when you're embracing this dance between your discipline and your freedom, your masculine and feminine, and the feeling of life moving through you and creativity moving through you is really the best elixir. So I hope this has been helpful. Discipline and freedom are your friends. Meld them together. Enjoy.